Can you truly imagine turning your back on the ultimate dream? The chance to play for your childhood team, in your hometown, under the bright lights you grew up watching? For most, it's the pinnacle of a career, a storybook ending before it even begins. But what if that dream came with a price so steep, a burden so heavy, that even a local kid born and bred in the very city he'd represent said, "No thanks"? This isn't a hypothetical. This is a stark, bewildering reality now facing the Toronto Maple Leafs, a franchise perpetually searching for that elusive piece of the puzzle, only to find that sometimes the puzzle piece itself is actively avoiding the picture. A recent bombshell report has sent ripples through the hockey world, revealing that a Toronto-born unrestricted free agent, a player who could have been a true fan favorite, flat out rejected the Leafs' advances. His reason? The suffocating, relentless pressure of playing for his hometown team. Let that sink in. The very essence of what makes Toronto a hockey mecca, the passion, the scrutiny, the unwavering spotlight, is now apparently a deterrent. The player in question is Andrew Mangiapane, a gritty, skilled forward who recently inked a 2-year, $3.6 million AAV deal with the Edmonton Oilers. Before he committed to riding the coattails of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in the relative calm of Alberta, the Maple Leafs, ever on the hunt for scoring depth, came knocking. But according to Sportsnet's Nick Kypreos, the noise of being a Toronto-born Maple Leaf was simply too much for Mangiapane to contemplate. Mangiapane is a Toronto kid. Last I heard was he was maybe a little concerned about playing this market as a local. Kypreos revealed, painting a vivid picture of a player weighing the immense pros and cons. It's a concern that might sound alien to the casual fan, but for those who live and breathe the Toronto hockey ecosystem, it's a chillingly familiar refrain. To truly grasp the weight of Mangiapane's decision, we need to understand the vastly different landscapes of expectation that exist even within the same locker room. Consider Michael Pezzetta, another recent Leaf signing, a player who committed to a 2-year deal earlier this week. Pezzetta is, at best, a fourth-line grinder. His role is clear. Don't mess up, throw a few hits, maybe drop the gloves, and occasionally deliver a passionate, crowd-pleasing soundbite about the incredible Toronto faithful. His expectations are minimal, his spotlight dim. He's there to add energy, to be a spark plug, not a primary offensive threat. The pressure on him is to simply exist and provide a physical presence. Now, pivot to Mangiapane. Had he signed with the Leafs, even as a third-line scoring threat, the expectations would have been astronomically higher. He wouldn't just be a local kid. He'd be a local kid expected to pot in at least 15 goals, contribute at both ends of the ice, and crucially, deliver in the actual intricate, high-stakes, playing hockey part of hockey. Every missed shot, every turnover, every quiet night will be magnified 1,000-fold by the collective gaze of a city that lives and dies with its team. The noise Kypreos mentioned isn't just background chatter. It's a deafening roar of anticipation, hope, and often crushing disappointment. This isn't unique to Toronto, of course, but it's certainly amplified here. As Sam McKee eloquently put it, playing in the Canadian market, whether it's Toronto or out west, is not for everybody. The intensity, the constant media scrutiny, the passionate and sometimes unforgiving fan base. It creates an environment unlike any other in professional sports. We see players like Brock Boeser in Vancouver, who, much like the Leafs' own William Nylander, possesses an almost zen-like ability to tune out the cacophony. Nothing really bothers me. I'm going to try to shoot it in the net. If it doesn't go in the net, I get to try again tomorrow, Kypreos observed, perfectly capturing that rare and valuable mindset. These are the players who thrive, who can navigate the emotional minefield of a Canadian market. Winning, playing well, consistently delivering. That's the ultimate antidote to the critics, the surefire way to silence the noise. But even a bad week, a brief slump, can turn even the most ardent supporters into hecklers. It's a tightrope walk, a constant battle against external pressures that can chip away at even the most confident athletes. And Mangiapane, apparently, wanted no part of that tightrope. He chose the path of least resistance, opting for the comfort of playing alongside two of the sport's generational talents in Edmonton, where scoring 20 goals might feel less like a burden and more like an inevitability, a natural consequence of sharing the ice with McDavid and Draisaitl. And frankly, who can blame him? From a purely personal and professional standpoint, it's a pragmatic, perhaps even shrewd move. It allows him to focus on his game, to contribute without the added weight of an entire city's hopes and dreams resting squarely on his shoulders, simply because he grew up down the street. But for the Maple Leafs, this rejection isn't just about losing one free agent. It's a stark, sobering reminder of the unique challenge they face in attracting and retaining talent. They continue their desperate search for a top six forward, but the options in free agency are dwindling faster than ice in July, and their valuable trade assets are scarcer than a quiet night at Scotiabank Arena. The Mangiapane saga lays bare a fundamental truth. The very passion that fuels the Toronto Maple Leafs and its fan base can, paradoxically, become a barrier to building a championship team. It forces us to ask, is the pressure cooker of Toronto so intense that it actively repels the very players who could help bring a Stanley Cup home? And if so, how does a team and a city navigate that reality? The answer remains elusive, but one thing is clear. The quest for glory in Toronto is not just about skill and strategy. It's a psychological battle, a test of mental fortitude, and a challenge that even hometown heroes are sometimes unwilling to face. What are your thoughts on this, Leafs Nation? Does this news surprise you? Or is it just another chapter in a long, complicated history of playing in Toronto? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this report insightful, please hit that like button to support our channel.